Alright, welcome back YouTube. So here we go again. Now we're going to do the modification. And we're going to use this steel here that we got from Home Depot. Again, not sponsored by them, but the expanded metal works really good to improve your fireboxes, make grill grates. You can do a lot of different things with it, but today we're actually going to do a no-weld firebox, basically cutting out the dimensions of my firebox, which I pre-measured already prior to the video. To make sure I had the right dimensions, and we're going to cut the pieces out, and we're going to fold it up, and then we're going to use baling wire to tighten it down. That way you don't need a welder or anything else like that, and you can pretty much do this if you just go to Home Depot. You can actually pick this up from there for like, I think it's 24 bucks. Pretty inexpensive, but it goes a long ways to helping your fire. So we'll bring you back into the action as soon as we get ready to measure this out and let you guys follow through with it. So the material that you'll need is actually going to be tape, a Sharpie, a measuring tape measurer, and then obviously I use an angle grinder, which I already had. You can actually rent one of those too from some of these hardware stores, but I already have one on hand, so that's the reason why this is pretty inexpensive for me to do. So, and then some clamps to clamp it down. We're just using a spool as a table or as a workbench to use out here. Again, these are modifications you can do within a homeowners association without actually having to go and get approvals for anything like that. So you know how it works in the HOA. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this out, and then we'll get to cutting. So we'll bring you back in when we get to that point, so you can see how it looks. So I went ahead and measured it out and taped off my grid that I'm going to be cutting out. And as you can see, it was 6 inches by 6 inches, and we're going to be cutting out these squares here. And as we get ready to remove these pieces, you'll see how the box will actually fold up, and we'll do that. But with the squares that you cut off, I would recommend you keeping them and reuse them, because what we're going to do is reinforce the bottom of the basket with those extra squares. So we'll bring you back in when we get ready to do that. Right now I'm going to get ready to clamp it down and start the cutting process. All right, so we just got done clamping them down, and what we're going to do is get ready to start cutting. And it's a little lengthy process to actually cut through the metal and get all the squares done, so we'll actually fast forward through that, but it still give you guys an idea of what it looks like when you're actually cutting it, and then the final process of actually after it's cut. So just keep watching, and then we'll be done with that as soon as possible. So we got done finally cutting it, and what I did was went ahead and removed all the excess tape for there. This should be your final result. And of course this depends on the dimensions of your pit and how you're going to do your basket. But my dimensions look like this. And remember, always wear to use gloves, because this there's a lot of sharp edges here that could cut you and cause some damage. So always wear your PPE gear. But right now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start folding it up to make it look like a basket. And you guys can watch that as I do it. does take a little bit of strength to move the basket. So you want to be really careful with that. And ideally, if you get the squares good enough, you can actually interlock them, kind of like that. And that's pretty much what it should look like. Now, what I'm going to go back and do, again, I got the squares that we cut off, and I'm going to reinforce the bottom like that on each side, just so we can have more strength on the bottom. That can take some more heat, so it'll actually last you about 6 months or so. I did a couple of these modifications for a couple of my neighbors, and they're still using the basket. And that was almost a year ago now, and their basket hasn't had any issues. So you can get some longevity out of it if you do it right. So I'm going to get the baling wire, and I'll bring you back into the shot on that when we get ready to start tying it down. So we'll see you in a second. Welcome back, YouTube. So we got the final product here. We took the baling wire and clipped it, and then tied it down, make sure the basket was tight. So this is what the final product was going to look like, and we're getting ready to start some charcoal up and actually use it and burn it up a little bit. So yeah, other than that, that's all you have to do to make yourself a no-weld fire basket. And we're going to put it inside our fire. As you can see, it fits down in there no problem. And now you can put your wood, charcoal, and everything else in there and allow maximum airflow to it to get a good burn and a good fire for your cook. So all right, so if you like what we're doing on this channel, go ahead and hit the bell notification and subscribe to it, and we'll stay tuned for our next videos, especially the next one. We're going to be deep frying a Cajun turkey, so that one should come out really good. But again, a no-weld fire basket, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.